Donald Trump says he believes he's winning in his attack on 4 congresswomen, escalating an attack U.S. lawmakers have already condemned as racist. Now Trump is rallying his supporters against them.
I have a suggestion for the hate-filled extremists who are constantly trying to tear our country down. They never have anything good to say. That's why I say, hey, if they don't like it, let them leave. Let them leave. Let them leave. You know, they don't love our country. I think in some cases they hate our country.
That's Trump last night at a campaign rally. In a speech lasting nearly 2 hours, Trump took aim at the congresswomen, both as a group and one at a time, getting the crowd to roar when he repeated his call for the women to get out of the U.S. Ellen Morrow joins us from Washington on this story. So, Ellen, Trump and his supporters erupt into chants of lock her up about Hillary Clinton. But last night, it appears Trump has found a new rallying cry. Tell us about that.
Well, that's right, Hannah. As you said, President Trump continues to attack these 4 lawmakers. He seems to be saying that these lawmakers criticizing his policy is the same thing as these lawmakers hating the United States, which it obviously isn't. Last night, the president's most brutal attack was reserved for Ilhan Omar, a U.S. citizen and Muslim woman of color, an attack that whips the crowd at that rally in North Carolina into a chant of "send her back." Here's what that sounded like.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Now, again, Omar is a U.S. citizen, and she tweeted in response to that chant last night, writing on Twitter, "I am where I belong, at the people's house, and you're just gonna have to deal," along with a picture of herself in the House of Representatives. There was also a tweet from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in response. She's one of the lawmakers attacked by the president. She wrote, "To all those scared for our future, we can get through this better than we started. We have the power to triumph over hatred, division, and bigotry, but decency cannot be taken for granted. It is something we must create, advance, and actively work to build each and every day." So strong criticism there for the president. But from comments President Trump made to journalists on his way to that rally, it's clear he sees this strategy as a win for him, as a smart move ahead of 2020. He's trying to make these lawmakers who all support left-leaning policies the face of the Democratic Party as a whole, betting that that will scare voters away from the party. And the president apparently sees the strategy as valuable enough that he doesn't mind being labeled a racist.
So some Democrats on Capitol Hill tried to force Trump's impeachment over his attacks on the congresswomen, but the vote was defeated. What happened there?
Well, there's a huge divide in the Democratic Party over the question of impeachment. A lot of members, both progressive and more middle of the road, want the House to move ahead right now with starting impeachment proceedings. But the party's leadership, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, for example, thinks it's too premature. They want the various Capitol Hill investigations into the president to continue, and they want to hear from special counsel Robert Mueller first. Pelosi says they need an airtight case before moving ahead with any impeachment proceeding. But the divide is somewhat embarrassing for the party, and Trump capitalized on that last night. Here's what he said.
I want to thank those Democrats because many of them voted for us. The vote was a totally lopsided 332 to 95 to 1. And they want to try and impeach. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
So again, the president capitalizing on this divide in the party. But again, for Democratic leaders, they're thinking about 2020 as well, and they're not convinced that starting impeachment proceedings, at least right now, is going to help them win more votes.